rise of the military state in Japan that would develop during the late Heian period dominated Japan's political sphere for the next 850 years. But what aspects of Japan's political environment during this era gave way to such a dominant military state? The central authority by the late Heian period was beginning to wane, and its inability to maintain an army led to a power vacuum where powerful sects could challenge the imperial state. The ex-emperor Shirakawa was to have reported saying, "The flow of the Kamo River, the rolls of the dice, and the mountain monks are things I cannot control." This passage reveals that the emperor had little control over the religious sects that were slowly becoming militarized, and in fact were becoming the de facto political leader in many parts of Japan. To counter this, other emperors felt need to hire provincial leaders, such as Minamoto no Yoritomo, and their forces as mercenaries. As the imperial state began to rely on these professional soldiers to control problematic religious groups, these warriors naturally began to hold the real power within the country. Thus, civil appointment began to diminish as military titles began to undermine the emperor's divine authority. These provincial leaders began to create the rise of the military state, which would dominate politics for almost 900 years. While the rise of military dominance in the political spectrum was underway, Buddhism began to dominate the religious field as well. Since its introduction in Japan in 552, the religion grew slowly. In the Heian period, two schools known as Tendai and Shingon Buddhism began to overshadow all other schools. This period of Buddhism was deeply influenced by the Hokkekyo, or the Lotus Sutra. This text, with its many forms, formed the consciousness for all those who studied it. Dissemination of the text throughout the country led the way for its central ideas to become the underlying ideals for all Japanese Buddhists of the Heian period. The images, text, and the rituals of the sutra combined to form the basis of Japanese artwork among the imperial courts in Kyoto. Yet, with this text being as influential as it is, it would be a mistake to isolate the Lotus Sutra as the only influential aspect of Buddhist consciousness. As we see from the legend of Yoshitsune, monks were often warriors of high caliber, such as Benkei in Yoshitsune himself. This contradiction of ideals reveals a dichotomy of Buddhist principles combining with the martial political environment of Japan that presided over the Heian period. These distinctive features of the age define not only the Heian period, but future epochs as well. With the dominating warrior elite, religious autonomy from the state, and the role of the imperial court on Japanese cultural identity, we can observe the demographical groups during this period are not isolated from each other, but intrinsically intertwined. It can be further stated that Yoshitsune's hero legend personifies these ideals. First and foremost, he is a dedicated and talented warrior. Secondly, a devout Buddhist, and was born with gifts of striking physical features, which gave him a connection to the imperial courts. All of these virtues represent the prototypical male of the Heian period, as a master of these uniquely Japanese characteristics that define this age.